So we got participants are still pouring in, but I guess we can start.
Yes,
Should I, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls who are attending this program, this wonderful webinar today. I warmly welcome you all to the second webinar held by Rockwoods International School. And as much as we were happy and as much as we were overwhelmed by the last one, I'm sure we are going to be equally better this time. One of the reasons for being this importance of this webinar is that our class 10 kids, the children who have passed out from various schools, including Rockwood International Schools, are now ready to enter the next door to grade 11s and ultimately their career choices. And they are many times at crossroads, and right now even more because of the uncertainty of the examinations, the boards, the COVID-19, and all the overwhelming situations at home also. And with all that that's happening, with the offers from everyone else as to what to do and what not to do, there are situations with all the kids and their families as to what do you do, how do you go forward to do what you want to do, how do you go ahead, what are your landmarks where you can cross, hurdles, all that are doubts there. So I'm very happy to present to you this beautiful seminar consisting of very eminent panelists out here. Not only eminent, but they are very, very good educationists who are bring you very authentic kind of education. We have in our panel our chairman, Mr. Raman Naidu, himself an IIT and himself a go-getter, himself in the thick of things. We also have the CEO of the school, Mr. Subramanyam, who is also an IITian, who is also who knows the brainchild behind everything about how it ticks in the minds of the children and the people who want to get into IIT, medical, etc. We also have in the panel a dynamic principal and the Dean of Academics, Mrs. Lalitha Naidu, huge experience behind her, and knows exactly what to do and when to do and how to do it. And we also have a newly joined vice principal, Mrs. Sai Sataki, who is also in the panel and who is very experienced in her own way into the entire, the IITs, JEEs, and the setup that the kids inspired to become. A little just into what the whole meeting is all about. It's about the pathways to your goals. Children, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, it's about the pathways to your goals. What are the goals of the kids? They want to be something in life, obviously. After the grade 10, then whatever they want to be in life, the choosing time is grade 11. Because that's what you want to choose your subjects. That's what is going to lead you into where you have to go and successfully go there. And you have to choose your goals, you have to choose your methodology to achieve those goals, which is very important. And not many people give you that kind of the tips, the guidance, the accuracy of how do you achieve your goals without getting it the hard way. See, everybody ultimately gets their goals, maybe some way, but some go the hard way, some go the better way, a softer way, as we call it. So if you can give it the softer way, I think take this opportunity and understand what it means to achieve your goals the best way. How do you integrate those goals into your system of learning and teaching, which we are going to do it for you? And how do you then take yourself forward? With this, I'll tell you a little bit of research. Research says, it's the international research, it says that out of 100% people, 3% students, 3% people are the ones who know exactly what their goals are, their written goals. They know how to inspire for them. They know how to reach those goals, and they know how to get it. They know how to cross hurdles. The rest, 97%, I have only inspirations. They have, fantasies. They have everything else but goals. They inspire for a lot of things, but they don't have goals. So goals are a very important feature of any career, of any student entering into what career they like to choose. But apart from the goals that we enter, remember, these 3% people are the ones which earn 10 times more than what all the 97% people put together, are the ones who achieve 10 times more success than all these people put together. Why? Because they know they have a clarity of vision. They know they have been guided, they have been taught, they've taken the right opportunity to get on to chasing their dreams and definitely their goals. So let's become that 3%, which Rockwood International School at the moment is going to give you an opportunity, a fantastic webinar, a seminar where there will be a lot of presentations to you, a lot of question answers which you will ask in the end. A lot of myths will be demystified. You know, we are living with a lot of myths nowadays. A lot of things. What do you think this is going to happen? A lot of rumors, a lot of myths, a lot of misinformation. So we are we are taking an opportunity of seeing that those myths are demystified, your doubts are cleared, provided you ask questions. You should ask them. Your doubts are cleared, and then you set yourself into what should I do, how should I do, where should I do, when should I do. All this will be taken care of in this particular seminar that we are going to deal in the next few minutes from now. So I'm equally looking forward to being there as part of demystifying those myths as much as our expert team of panelists are here. So I, without much ado about, getting on to what this whole thing is about, I would suggest that you better experience it and enjoy it and take this opportunity to go forward in your life. With best wishes and without much ado, I would request Lalita ma'am to please take it forward, the whole meeting, and over to Lalita ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. You have put it forth very beautifully. Demystifying the myth is wonderful. And well, let me take on from here. Good evening to all present here. And it's a wonderful evening, and we would like to give all of you an overview of what the grade 11 and 12 is. Why is it so important? Children, I'll address you as children because you are still not, that grown up. For actually steering the ship, you have the steering which is there, and you have a small bit of what we call as the fulcrum, which actually helps that big ship to steer from one side to another. Although that is so small, it actually leads the path of how the ship should be moving. Okay, your grade 11 and grade 12 is like that small fulcrum which will help to steer your life, your career, and your path ahead. Okay, you are at a very, very important phase of your life, and we wanted that we should guide you in the right way. Okay, children, we have come across quite a few of our students and quite a few of people talking about various things, whether it is, ma'am, we have got some AIMS 60. Okay, what is this AIMS 60? Is there an AIMS exam, separate exam for AIMS? No, there isn't. There is only one exam. That is the NEET for all the engineering seats in the country. Okay, so if somebody is misguiding you and saying that there is a JIPMER, there is a FMC, there is an AIMS, please do not. That is why what Anjali ma'am said, demystifying the myth is what we will be doing right now. But before that, let me introduce you to our team in Rockwood's International School. Well, I will begin with our very dynamic chairman, Mr. Ramanaidu. He is a BTech in NITW. He has done his management degree from XLRI, Xavier Institute, which is the premier institute in the country. He's done his PG Max from Indian School of Business, which is the best. And he's also done his LLB. A very highly qualified person. He's a life skills coach, an expert in competitive exams and personalized coaching. This is something you need to remember, children. Personalized coaching. Okay. Then we have Mr. Subramanyam Ranginini, who is our CEO. He is also an NITian, worked in organizations like TCS and worked both in India and US and other countries. And he has also, to his credit, an MA in education. He has done it out of sheer passion for education. He's a subject matter expert in physics and chemistry. Ask him anything and he will be able to clarify. But he has something more to his credit, which is not mentioned here. He is also a tech whiz, I should say. Anything in technology, Mr. Subramanyam will be able to tell us and bring it to our laptops and our computers. Well, that's me with more than 35 years experience, leading schools for 30 years plus now, and I have sent out batches and batches of students in both 10th and 12th. And dear children, I have my students all over the world. Okay, be it wherever I go, I come across my students, and it's a pleasure always to be with them, and all highly successful, right? And then we have our Dean of Education, Mrs. Anjali Razdan. She, I fall short of words to describe her academic excellence, and she has 40 plus years of experience. But one important aspect I would like to tell, and the very recent of her success stories are when she has been heading the Oval Ready Public School, where the number of students, when she took over, were just about 150 plus, and by the time she left, it was 700 students, all doing extremely well. 700 students in only grade 11 and 12, doing extremely well. That is her success, and that speaks volumes about her capability. We also have with us our Vice Principal, Miss Sai Satyaki, but we'll move on. Before that, let me introduce you to our teaching staff, right? We have Mr. Venkat Rao, who's an MSc B.Ed, and he's our mathematics faculty. Extremely good. Children, I can assure you, all those who have, who shirk from mathematics because of fear of maths, he is the right person. When I counsel children also, I tell them that your fear of math comes about because of you are not having the right teacher. And Mr. Venkat Rao is one such passionate teacher who will bring the entire math into very easy, simple terminology, easy for you to understand. And believe me, he will not leave anybody, and he will not leave any stone unturned until you all learn and master the concept. We also have with us Miss Meena Pandey, MSc B.Ed, M.Ed, and she is our chemistry faculty. With 23 plus years of experience in teaching 11th and 12th in Delhi, along with NEET and JEE coaching. Believe me, all these faculty members who are here have got extensive experience of teaching IIT JEE. Okay, and NEET, of course. Then we have Mr. Ranjit Kumar. Mr. Ranjit Kumar has 4 plus years of experience, but he is a graduate from the Regional Institute of Education. Just like we have IITs for engineering and others, for in the field of education, the Regional Institute of Education is like an IIT, and he is a graduate from there, and he has extensive experience in coaching students for the competitive exams. A very dynamic and enthusiastic young teacher. And then we have with us our Vice Principal and Faculty for Biology, MSc Microbiology, MSc Chemistry, MA English, B.Ed, and she's also done her LLB. That's another thing which she probably did not mention here. And she's our biology faculty, and she has 23 years of experience in teaching in Fiji, Vignan, Meridian schools, and other places. For grades 11 and 12, she is a disciplinarian. She ensures that every child comes out like a shining star. And then we have Ms. Sheba Diana, MSc Zoology and B.Ed. She is our faculty for zoology and she is our headmistress too. She has been with Meridian, with Rockwood since inception, and with rich 15 plus years of experience in teaching, NEET Foundation, and in leadership positions. She is again a tech whiz, I should say. She uses technology beautifully for making learning very simple. Then we have Ms. Y. Sirisha, who is an MCom, MA, B.Ed, and LLB. She is our Commerce and Economics faculty, 20 plus years of experience in both locally as well as in Maldives and Africa, and she believes in the art of teaching. A wonderful faculty member, and further on we have Miss Major Rashmi Prakash. She's an MA in English, B.Ed, a CTET, and a CSB. An English faculty, she has 8 plus years in teaching English in Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh in grades 11 and 12. Her classes are a pleasure, although in the competitive exam edge, English takes a back seat. She will ensure that you develop proper communication skills along with others. Then we have our counselor and our primary head, Ms. Satya Swami, having 21 plus years of experience in leadership positions in various international schools. She's an experienced counselor and she has expertise in early childhood as well as dealing with adolescents. That's our faculty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And with this kind of faculty, with this kind of expertise, Rockwood's International School is assuring you of success in the competitive exams, be it IIT JEE, NEET, or CA Foundation. We are assuring you that you will come out with shining colors, and it is a short success for each one of you. And I thank you, Subramanyam sir, for giving me this opportunity, and I request you to take over and do a small comparative analysis of our school with that of the others. Over to you, sir. Now, I think the program, I will hand it over to Sai Satyaki ma'am to talk about our program and our assessments and other aspects of our teaching and learning, which children, if you see, you will find that it will give you a fantastic overview of how every single detail is meticulously planned out to ensure that you people will succeed 100%. So over to you, Sai ma'am.
Thank you so much, Lalita ma'am. Thank you so much for the wonderful invitation. A very good evening to all the participants and the panelists present today, dear parents, students, and all the knowledgeable people around here. Today, I'm here to give you an insight about the academic calendar and the curriculum planning for grade 11 and 12 at Rockwood International School. As all of you are a batch of either students or parents who are having a goal, you're having a vision in your mind to see your children or yourself in very good professional colleges, be it in the stream of engineering or physical sciences, or be it in the stream of medicine or allied subjects for the life sciences. Also, we might have some of you here who are aiming or targeting at the commerce fields, wherein you can have CA foundation coaching, and you dream to see your children or yourself in wonderful careers ahead. To support your
some technical problem, I think. I will just take over from here and wait until she comes on. Well, to support you all, to ensure that you people get adept at all your entire learning, we have with us a plan of action. Now, you will find that every week there are tests scheduled in the form of cyclic tests. So we begin with the cyclic test 1, 2, and 3, which will test you on whatever that has been taught to you all in the week. Post which, every Saturday, the tests will be there every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The results will be given to you on Friday, and every Saturday there will be a remedial as well as doubt clarification classes for you all, so that the gaps of learning are minimized.
I apologize. I'm so sorry. There was a connectivity issue. I'm back.
Yes, Simon.
I'm so sorry, dear parents and students, for the little technical glitch. Now, as I told you, we are a school where we're going to follow the CBSE curriculum and support the children for IIT JEE mains and NEET. Parents, please do understand one major advantage which CBSE school children have over the other state board children here is that in CBSE school, grade 11 is not a board examination as compared to the state board. Therefore, children have this one complete year to focus a lot on enhancing their basics, because in all competitive examinations, please understand, in all the competitive examinations, the questions are applicative oriented and logical questions with focus on the basics and the fundamental concepts of the children. Therefore, the way we have designed the complete academic curriculum is that every day children will have classes, or they'll be taught the complete concept of maths, physics, chemistry, or biology, that's MPC or BIPC, along with the core subjects of English and their fifth optional, physical education. And in addition to that, every day the children will have 2 classes exclusively for the competitive examinations. That is, during the regular class hours, the concepts and the theory will be explained, and during the classes allocated for the IIT mains or NEET coaching, these concepts will be strengthened in the form of working classes. The concept that is taught as a theory in the morning would be taken up in the evening as a practice. For the support of this, we do have our excellent faculty members, and we also have certain tie-ups with most branded and most tested and tried publications around, whose books and material will be supplied to the children as a part of their books. Okay, so, and in addition to conducting classes, the final examinations for the boards and the competitive examinations are both equally important for a child. To support the board examination preparation, our curriculum goes this way. Every week on Friday, we have a test for the children in the board examination pattern, both subjective and objective type, in a cyclic manner. That is, every Friday, one subject would be conducted. For example, if this Friday it is mathematics, next Friday it is physics, and the following Friday it would be chemistry, so on and so forth. That is, in a cyclic manner, throughout the year, the children will be writing subjective tests in the board examination pattern. And as I mentioned earlier, the classes for the competitive examination, IIT and NEET, will trigger off right from day one. That is, the classes for IIT JEE mains and CBSE would go hand in hand right from day one. Then, now comes the question of preparation of the competitive examination. You know, parents, dear parents, the test for IIT would be in maths, physics, and chemistry, while for the NEET, it would be in biology, physics, and chemistry. CBSE board or the NTA, which conducts NEET, does not differentiate biology into botany, zoology. They do it as a combined subject. Okay, so when this is being conducted, usually how it happens in other colleges and schools and coaching centers is that right from day one, that is from grade 11, children are tested in maths, physics, chemistry as a common paper on the same day. And what we have realized with our 20 plus years of experience, each of our faculty members also agree with this, that when a child is being tested right from day one in 3 subjects together, the child is not able to focus enough on all the 3 subjects equally. Therefore, every time they take up a weekly test, they would outperform in one subject and underperform in another. To avoid this, to allow the children the space to get used to this sort of a testing platform, wherein they'll be tested in objective and multiple choice questions with negative marking for the first time, we have come up with a policy where we will be conducting 1 subject a day. That is, every Monday, the children will be tested in maths and biology, whichever is their option. Every Tuesday, it will be chemistry, and every Wednesday, it will be physics. To start off with, for the first term, this is how it will be done. Once the children get used to writing these sort of an examinations, they get used to negative marking questions. They get used to the concept being asked in a crisp and short manner. Then we will move on to the phase where they will be tested for all the 3 subjects together. And this is going to happen in what is known as a grand test. In a grand test, it will be a cumulative test. Grand test happens after every 3 cycles of CTs, that is cyclic test. That is 1 week, maths, bio, chemistry, physics. Next week, again, maths, bio, physics, chemistry, physics. This way, 3 weeks go on. And the 4th week is a cumulative test of all the 3 subjects together. So in all, throughout the year, they will have 12 cyclic tests and 5 grand tests. This is how it has been planned. This is in addition to the weekly periodic tests in the board examination pattern and their half-yearly and annual examinations. Parents, the way the assessment calendars and the syllabus planning has been done is that by we'll be starting the syllabus in the first week of June, and by the end of second week of December, before we close down for the Christmas break, the complete CBSE syllabus would be finished. That is, the complete teaching part would be done. Children would be prepared for all the syllabi of grade 11 for competitive examinations as well as the board examinations. Then, in the month of Jan, extensive revision is provided for the children. This is the speciality of Rockwood's international curriculum. This extensive revision, one-on-one interaction with each child is what is the, this is the success mantra. The examinations, the final examinations for grade 11 will be conducted towards the end of January, and towards the mid of February, we will be starting with the curriculum for grade 12. Parents, please understand, the curriculum for grade 12 will start mid-February. It will go on till end of April. And again, May will be the summer break. Children to come back by June. Therefore, if you look at it, the children will have enough time to prepare for the board examinations where they will excel with excellent scores. And they will also have lots of time for preparation for their competitive examinations. While we are doing this, as I told you, Rockwood's International School specializes in individual attention and, revision and remedials. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the tests are conducted. The scores of these tests would be sent individually to the parents by every Friday. Every Friday evening, parents can expect the scores of their child for that week. And on every Saturday, as of now, since we are on the online platform, teaching classes are happening for 5 days a week as per CBSE guidelines. But every Saturday, we are going to have specialized counseling and remedial sessions. These will be exclusive sessions wherein the shortfalls of every child in how they have performed over the week. If a child needs any support, it could be subject support or psychological support or any other pressure which they are going through. The teachers are with them. We have our counselors in place. They'll be guiding the children. They'll be supporting the children. And also they will be taking special remedial classes. This is to ensure that doubts are cleared as and when. As it says, when you have a small doubt, it's only a small pebble, but when it piles up, it becomes a mountain. To ensure that children do not have to face these mountains in their path of success, we wish to clear up doubts every Saturday. This is how it's going to be done. Then, let me tell you, other than this, every day we will be having worksheets, we will be having assignments given to children, and these would be done in two ways. One would be the physical way in which they would be doing it in the physical worksheets, and they would also be done through a platform, because dear parents and students, already IIT, JEE, Mains and Advanced are computer-based tests. Very soon, NEET is also going to be converted into a computer-based test. So we will be giving children assignments on an online platform with which the school has already tied up, and they will also have their assessments happening in a paper pen manner, and their assignments also will be given as the regular worksheets. All this information of what is coming to the child, what is being conducted, is available to the parents through the school portal, which is the My Classboard portal. The performance of your child can be monitored not only through the messages which come to you from the school, but also on the MCP. And then, dear parents, we follow an open door policy. Our principal, our academic dean, myself, the class teachers, and the faculty teachers are always available for any of the parents to meet us to discuss the performance of your children. Of course, with prior intimation and appointment through the PRNs. Right? Now, let me tell you one more thing. One more very special feature which we see about the academic planning of Rockwood School is that, as I told you, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they'll be having NEET and IIT test. Every Friday, they'll be having the periodic test for the CBSE board. Now, every Thursday, this is a very special day which all the children will surely enjoy. Every child will look forward for this, because this is the day where co-scholastic development activities happen. We have planned career programs. We have planned life skills activities. We have planned, environmental related activities every Thursday. The children will get to interact with some very eminent and prominent people so that their development is 360 degrees done. Okay. And now, let me again come back to you with our timings and other things. Right now, since we are running in an online mode, we do not want to disturb the regular teaching happening. Therefore, all these tests and all these cyclic tests for the competitive examinations which will happen on an online mode after school hours. But do not worry, it will not be as if the children are going to be with books or in front of the system from 8 to 8 or something. The curriculum and the timings have been so well planned that the children will not have continuous screen time. At the same time, their academic focus is excellently driven. Okay, so right now what we are planning and how the paper patterns are all in accordance to the existing IIT mains and NEET pattern. However, if there are changes from the NTA, we will be changing the examination pattern in accordance to it. And let me confirm to all of you that we will be following the NCERT textbooks, which have been branded as the Bibles for all the competitive examinations. These will be our textbooks which we would issue to the children along with special competitive examination material. Okay, I hope all the parameters of the grade 11 curriculum is clear to all of you. Now I hand over the mic to Subramanyam sir to please take it ahead from here. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Subramanyam sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, Anjali ma'am and Lalita ma'am, and also Sai Satiki ma'am, covering very good amount of details in terms of what we are doing for grade 11. I very quickly wanted to cover about why Rockwood's. Grade 11 is being offered by many of the colleges and many of the players. Why you should choose Rockwood's only? Children and parents, this slide that I have put on for display is one of the very important one. We have spent very good amount of time in gathering comparative analysis, what Rockwood's is offering in comparison with the corporate China colleges that we have, and Akash and Fiji. Let me go through each one of it very quickly. The first and foremost, the personalized attention and counseling. Rockwood's is something is promising each child will be treated as a special child, and we are going to spare and we are going to give that personalized attention. Whereas this is something which you are not going to get with other colleges, especially with corporate China colleges, where class strength is not going to be less than 60 or 70. That is going to be the minimum classroom strength. Please remember, the government norm is to keep the classroom strength below 40. Anything above 40 is not legal. Please remember that. And the second important point, with Rockwood's, we are promising the assured success. The children are going to be limited in each of the section. It's not going to be more than 36 per section. That way teacher can focus and we can promise you the assured success, guaranteed success. And another thing, we are not going to label students based on their performance in the exam. There are colleges, if children are not going to perform, they are going to downgrade to different sections, different campuses. Unless children are made to score well, they are not going to promote it in the the better sections. For us, every section is important. Every child is important. So when child performance is not better, there are ways and means to improve that performance, not by degrading, by moving child from one section to the other section. And another one, I think, which most of you would have seen, there are a good number of colleges who will run first year in one campus and second year in different campuses. Please talk to some of the children. They will tell you about this. And in terms of infrastructure, the classrooms, labs, libraries, playgrounds, and in case of residential, dormitories, and then washroom. Highly hygiene and very good amount of space is given to each of the child. This is something you may not find with corporate China colleges. And technology ready, as you know, I think we have covered earlier too. The IIT JEE exam is computer-based test. Even NEET more likely is going to be on computer-based testing. Meaning, if colleges are not going to have the adequate computer labs and the assessment that we are doing with online, where proctoring has to be enabled so that, child cannot search the answers online. The way how the IIT JEE exam is conducted on the computer, in the similar fashion, the exams are going to be conducted from our school, from the day one. Throughout the year they write. NEP ready, those colleges definitely will not be, in a position to, satisfy new education policy standards, which has been very recently approved by the Indian cabinet. And then here, senior leaders, management, everyone are into teaching. We teach grade 11 children. And then experienced staff. And some of you are talking about where do we have experience? Does Rockwoods has experience? Yes, we are starting senior secondary this year, but the entire staff, if we have looked at earlier slides, each one of them having very good amount of experience in terms of teaching IIT, JEE, and then NEET. And also grade 11 and 12. Each one of the teacher comes with very good amount of the experience. Affiliation to the board, and I cannot guarantee where how many of the colleges have with so many locations and all that. Please do check on that. And competitive exam material, we are using very well known publication and very well tested, and NCERT where most of the competitive exam, even IIT, JEE, and then NEET, straight away like 75 to 75% straight pick is from NCERT. Whether it's the state board or CBSE board, all of them will be using NCERT books. Remember, but in CBSE it is mandatory, whereas in state board it is optional. Because of competitive exam, they have to use NCERT and also IPE for their board exam perspective. In CBSE, you have only one set of textbooks and then competitive exam material. That is the advantage for the child. And then life skill integration and experiential learning and all that. Reading is not going to make the child understand the concept. Making them to do the practicals is going to make child understand the concept very easily. That way he can perform very well in the competitive exam. And then false propaganda, empty promises, marketing strategies. I think the less that I talk about these are better, right? There are plenty of people, they will mesmerize the parents and students. They will bring with lot of jargons with the names like CO batch, China batch, AIM 60, and JIPMER 200, blah blah blah. Plenty of things they talk about it. Who are talking to you? PROs are talking. They don't teach. They just do that talk because when they do that admission, they get some incentive, they get some money. Here, in our case, we don't have such kind of system. Parents, students will be talking to the staff, will be talking to the management, no one else. There is no PRO system. There is no advertisement. You can hear, TV ads and all that. And if you want, you can do a quick search even now, right now. What is AIMS 60? You search, you will know a lot of facts about those. Search about China batch, you will know a lot of facts about that, right? I think there is a very popular comedy show that happens in ETV, Jabardast, right? Equivalent kind of, shows are there. Who are, those shows are done by these corporate China colleges and you love them. You'll find more comedy over there. When you have some time, please check out, you'll find the facts over there. And then credible, holistic education, career-oriented education, and ethical value-based education is something what we are providing at our school, right? I think I have taken a little more time, but I wanted you to take a very quick look at this and take a snapshot if you wish, and all that. And now I would request Sai Sataki ma'am, please take the panel discussion so that I think the questions can be clarified. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Subramanyam sir. The comparative chart was pretty clear and it is self-explanatory. Now, I invite all our panelists, Ramam Naidu sir, the management representative, Subramanyam sir, the CEO and the pillar of academic strength behind Rockford's International School, Anjali Razdan ma'am and Lalita Naidu ma'am for a short panel discussion and a Q&A session to follow. The Q&A will be from the parents and the students. So let us discuss about what exactly we are wanting to do today. What is the complete purpose of this webinar? My first question here would be to Naidu sir. Sir, you being the management representative of Rockwood School, Rockwood's International, we understand that the program which you're floating right now, it is an integrated program for IIT JEE and NEET preparation. And we see in the slide that you say that there is a assurance given for a seat guarantee into the professional colleges, and that too into the top-notch professional colleges. Can you please let us know and throw some light on how you would aim to reach this, and what is your planning so that every child who joins Rockwood International School for the senior secondary would be seen as a student of a top professional college in the country?
Thank you, Satyaki, for asking this wonderful question. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity. See, Subbi and Lalita ma'am, Satyaki, and also Anjali shared about Rockwood's experience, Rockwood's team, and everyone. You might have seen how we have been running the organizations for the past 15 to 16 years. Actually, the Rockwood Schools and Rankers team initially were doing intensive coaching for the MSET and IIT exams, the way back in the year 2002, 2005 onwards. Those days, we used to run crash course almost for 45 days to 60 days and prepare the children intensively from morning to evening for all the subjects, maths, physics, chemistry, botany, geology subject, in such a way that children should be able to thoroughly answer all the easy, moderate questions at any cost. Since all these competitive exams are majorly to check the children's problem solving ability and creative thinking and also child's conceptual understanding. That is the reason when you verify the question papers of these competitive exams, especially NEET, IIT, JEE, Advanced or Mains, you will be having 60% questions from the topics which are basically to check the conceptual understanding of the children. That means if you take NEET questions for out of 45 physics, 45 chemistry, and 90 biology, that is botany and geology, if you really prepare the children thoroughly well, all the topics which are there in your NCERT textbooks, children easily can score without much difficulty 60%. That means every child can score out of 180 questions, that is out of 720 marks, easily can they score minimum 500 to 520 if they really focus on the conceptual understanding questions, thoroughly read the NCERT textbook, give complete attention to those. Other 30% questions are moderate difficult questions, moderate application oriented questions. These questions were basically to test the children's problem solving ability. The way we give intensive coaching to our children, on some of the topics is, for example, if you take kinematics and physics, children had understanding that physics means solving the problems. So when you create such a kind of environment for every concept, whether it is a Newton's laws, or it is a kinematics, or a dynamics topics, or a gravitation topics, and every formula they learn, every theory they learn, every law they learn, if you can help the children to solve the problems on those kind of things. So children should be able to score these 30% questions without any difficulty. If as a school or a college or a coaching center, if you are clear that these 90% preparation is done thoroughly with proper focus and clear understanding where child has to spend good amount of time. Because in the journey of preparation for these things, when you are targeting for IIT, if the children are too much pressurized on only difficult 10% questions, they will be missing the repeated preparation for the 60% easy questions, conceptual understanding questions. They will be missing the focus on 30% moderate questions, where when they really apply particular formula or particular law, you should be able to solve it. So as an institute, if you wanted to help large section of people, if 36 students are there, if you wanted to help all these 36 students, these two types of questions, we should thoroughly prepare them very well. You might have seen some of the top students always says that I solved such a high difficulty problem, but I lost 4 marks in the easy questions, because they are overwhelmed with difficult and challenging questions. Then they prone to do the mistakes in small and easy questions. So what I always instruct to our teachers and the counselors and parents is, we need to give undivided attention to the children prior to the preparation of exam. Plan preparation so that these are the topics they have to repeat thoroughly and learn, and also try to check their own skills using particular assessment test, using our either a technology platform Learn Next, or there are MTG textbook questions. Those will help us to assess the children. Then after that, we will be planning entire paper explanation and preparation, so that children will see why these kind of mistakes they are been doing. With this intensive focus preparation, without having too many distractions, without pressurizing children to only to get the scores, obviously children should be able to perform best, and he will do with clear clarity why he has to learn that particular question, though it is easy and moderate. And if you wanted to target top 100 rank or top 10 rank, last 10% questions also very much important, but you have to thoroughly prepare these 60% or 30% questions. That means out of 45 physics questions in NEET, if you perform this 90% question, that means 27 moderate, 27 easy questions and 13 moderate questions, 5 difficult questions. Anyway, you can solve. Even if you don't solve it, also 90% these problems, many people will do the mistake. As a student who wanted to get a seat, you should never bound to do the mistake. The questions everyone do correct. You may do the mistake with, if it is difficult and everyone cannot solve it. So this focus, clear clarity in the preparation, scheduling the children's day from morning to evening, where to allot, why to allot, how to allot, and how to really make sure that children will get little more time for this personal experience of understanding himself, self-awareness, spending little 1 to 2 hours of time on the physical exercises and little meditation practices, so that what will happen is child will try to get control on his own activities, and also try to build awareness how to prepare for competitive. Because preparing for 2 years, that means 365 multiplied by 2, almost 700 odd days is not so easy. having undivided attention for these 2 years, very much important.
Yes.
That only will happen when you really prepare the child personality to sit for long hours, to have undivided attention for long hours, to help the children to understand what kind of diet you have to take, to help the children to understand how he has to really prepare for the exam, post-exam, what kind of discussions he should have with the children and his friends and his teachers. So as Rockwood's management and also team of professionals, we will be available to everyone, day scholars and hostelers in the campus. We will help them to focus on all these aspects to make sure that the way a cricketer or a football player spends undivided attention on his morning preparations, evening preparations, we need to prepare them. And also they will give complete focus on their diet, the kind of interaction they do, the kind of discussion they do. Everything is planned, prepared. Their mind is tuned towards their goal, and the mind is tuned towards their exam. So as we have been training our students, I myself trained many of my own family members. My 2 nieces are doctors. My nephew is a doctor. My brother is a doctor. And many of my family members are engineers at NITs and IITs. I'm the first generation engineer out of my entire family. After that, I trained many students at our group of schools. Now they have been pursuing their engineering education, and also they are been doing their medical education pursuits. Some of them are also completed. So what I would like to assure you, all of you, is if you give your good heart and trust us, it's our promise, your children will get 100% seat. One of the parents asked me a couple of days back, if you are not going to assure us the seat, are you ready to give us management seat from some of the best colleges? It's my promise. If the student had got capabilities to sit and focus, and also he has little understanding of theory and also applications, it's my promise and entire of team's promise that your children surely will become doctors, engineers from best of best colleges. Because
that's wonderful. That's wonderful, sir.
We have seen the kind of benefits we have seen when you pursue your graduation or your post-graduation from best of best colleges. You will live with the people who are having same kind of ideology. Their mental ability and also their problem solving ability is very high, so that you will have clear clarity about how to pursue your further career. Thank you so much for asking this question. I hope I made all of you to understand how Rockwood.
You were very clear, sir. Thank you so much. The focus which you're going to have on conceptual understanding, which is something which is there inbuilt with CBSE education, is really wonderful, sir. Thank you so much for the assurance given. Now, my next question is to Mrs. Lalita Naidu, ma'am. Ma'am, as focused earlier in the slide, we understand that you're saying Rockwoods International has got excellent infrastructure. Can you please run us through with the various parameters of infrastructure and also with the various parameters of experienced faculty which you're showcasing? We understand, and most of the parents also believe, that most of these colleges, branded colleges, are showcasing that their faculty are very experienced and they're there for a very long tenure in the field of training and coaching for competitive examinations. Can you please explain how your infrastructure and team of senior secondary faculty is going to work across the seat guarantee integration?
Thank you, Sai.
Which Raman sir has just explained.
Thank you, Sai. I'll take your second question first. When it comes to, the faculty and how the classroom transaction is happening, well, we have the faculty handling, our regular class, our, competitive classes, and correction and remedial being handled by a single experienced and highly qualified person. Unlike some of the colleges where, somebody teaches, somebody tests, and someone else does the remedial. It's not like that. It's one single individual. And then, the students are not like sheep, not cramming about 60 to 70 students to 100 students in one classroom, and even sometimes holding a mic and reading out. I was reading some of the reviews, where one of the students said that, in these kind of classes, it was a review of a person's anguish, a student's anguish, after being a part of such a college, his anguish was expressed in saying that, half the class slept when the lecturers were teaching. Okay, is that the kind of education we want? Yeah? Or does your education give you the entire experiential learning? Are the colleges using the laboratories for teaching the students actual, like how do you measure things with the vernier calipers? How do you use how do you learn Ohm's law through, the apparatus? Or how do you learn about the various, combinations, the acids, bases, and salts through practical experience? Or do you learn about your photosynthesis just theoretically, or will you experience it practically? For that, Saimam, we have 3 wonderful labs: chemistry, physics, and a biological science lab, which will help us to give our students complete knowledge in a practical way. When they do it, they will remember it forever. If they hear it, they will know only 50% of it. But when they actually do it, any question in that particular concept will be totally clear to them. And then when it comes to the students' abilities to write computer-based or to face computer-based tests. Okay, now we know entire JEE, IIT JEE is based on the computer-based tests. I know because I was myself the NTA city coordinator for one of the exams, and I remember very distinctly students who came totally, they did not know many things, including how to start a system. So much so they lost precious time. The number of questions and the time given, it is so very important that the student knows what to do, how to go about with it, what are the nuances of attempting these things. It's very important. And if a school is not giving a CBT, practice of CBT, students will definitely lose out in that. So these are important points which we all need to remember. And moreover, if, the faculty members also, there is a dichotomy in the teaching, that somebody teaches, somebody else is testing. The entire learning will not get focused, and the student will get utterly confused. And moreover, when student, I was just asking, somebody, one of my neighbors, she goes in the morning at 7 and returns at 7 in the night, 7:30 in the night. I asked her, what do you do? She says, ma'am, we have, those hard iron benches, and we sit on that day in and day out. We don't have any games, any de-stressing activities. We simply sit there, and one question, we practice it about 20 times. I said, do you do it correctly the 21st time? If you are given after 6 months how to, to attempt it? She said, maybe not. Okay, so it doesn't mean you are learning by rote and you are trying to perfect things. So these are aspects of which give our school an edge, Saimam. When our chairman said we are going to assure students of a seat in any of these important colleges, and so it is because we have confidence in the kind of systems that we have put in place, confidence in our people who are going to deliver the content, confidence in our assessment pattern, confidence in our infrastructure, which will give students a complete de-stressed environment, We all know that students and all of us perform best only and only when we are in a calm state of mind. And that is what we will provide. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lalita ma'am. That has cleared a lot of doubts for all the parents. Now, my question is towards Subramanyam sir. Sir, this is a very direct question to you. At the start of the session, Anjali ma'am, while introducing, she said, today we are here to break certain myths and to ensure that we do not have miscommunication. So my question to you here right now, which I'm sure is a question all the parents who are there in the session have. There is a belief, popular belief over the years, right from when we were students, that state board 10th and state board intermediate mathematics is more difficult as compared to CBSE, and a child who studies MPC from a state board college will be able to clear MSET or IIT in a better manner. Also, is this, this is what people believe. Is this true? How far can you justify it with your experience? And also, what is the miscommunication which you keep saying that there are false promises and miscommunication being made by these branded corporate colleges? What is it, and how will you be able to clear this confusion in the minds of parents?
Sure, ma'am, definitely. I think many of the students and parents must know that the JEE exam is conducted by National Testing Agency. NEET is conducted by, again, National Testing Agency. For them, the basis of the making syllabus, preparing the question paper, are NCERT books. No other books, NCERT books, right? So, meaning the college who is going to teach NCERT books, those children are going to immensely get benefited out of that. In fact, even the state board, IP-based board colleges also, please inquire the students who are studying over there. They will be teaching only NCERT books, even though they were supposed to teach the IP-based books, but they don't follow them. They follow the NCERT books. So the myth of the state board maths is strong, CBSE maths is not strong, is completely false. Please inquire and check, online. You will find the answers by yourselves. You're talking on mute, ma'am.
Sorry. Now coming over to the miscommunication and the false promises, which we do see floating around in advertisements. And can you please throw some light on this?
I think I talked a little already before. So I think, see, as a school, I can talk about our school, what, we can do, what, we can make children achieve and all that. And, what you hear out from the different set of people and, all that, there are plenty of misinformation in that, in the TV ads, in the people that are coming to your houses, calling over phone and talking about that. Please validate that information and, inquire, and then accordingly make a decision. Just blindly don't believe. And yes, there would have, there would have been few ranks that, some colleges would have got, but out of how many?
That is the success ratio is what you're talking about.
Yes, please check all those facts. To us, every child is important. Every child is going to have precious life, and it is our duty to direct each of the child, not specific sections, not specific set of children.
Okay, we understand that in Rockwood School, International School, there is no labeling of the child. You do not label a child to say that he's a ranker, he's fit for IIT and things like that. And from your discussion, I understand that other corporate colleges who are announcing that they've got 50 ranks, 100 ranks, never disclose out of how many students enrolled with them are they getting 50 ranks. Also, they never announce How many of these successful ranks are from the students who are appearing for the mains or NEET exam for the first time, and how many of them are long-term coaching or repeaters batch? I hope that is what you wanted to convey, sir.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
That's wonderful. Okay. Now, my question is straight to Anjali ma'am. Anjali ma'am, from what we've been introduced to you by Lalita ma'am, we know that you're a seasoned academician and you've got loads and loads of experience with CBSE, and and you've been a person who's taken the responsibility of shaping careers of hundreds and hundreds of children through many batches. Now, CBSE education, and in fact, education system throughout the country is taking a new turn with the national education policy, which is going to be implemented from the next academic year, hopefully with the pandemic coming down. What is this new national education policy have in store for children? And how do you say that Rockwoods International School would support this NEP and promote holistic development in a child who is in the grade 11 now and will be in grade 12 next year? Can you please throw some light on that?
Yes, thank you, Sai. I know we are running out of time. We have spent a lot of time in, demystifying. But let me tell you one thing, National Education Policy 2019, which has gone into 2020, has just been, kind of recognized right now by the government some days back. It's kind of concretized now. And it states that there's going to be a paradigm shift in the teaching learning process completely. Be it the grade nursery, pre-primary, or be it grade 11 and 12, be it even the classes which are beyond 11 and 12, which means the higher education sector, be it even the process of getting into the entrance examinations of those classes or those courses which the kids intend to take, IITs and NEETs and everything else. Everything is going to undergo a paradigm shift in the process of getting into that. And Rockwood International School. Now I'm talking let me talk as an outsider, because I've been out, I've been in, I'm right now with Rockwoods, but I'm talking as an outsider, the kind of intensive coaching that the schools are given, especially CBSE schools, to get into the mode of NEP is amazing, which I think the private so to say corporate China schools, etc., they don't even have an iota of knowledge about what is in store for them when the kids step into 11 and 12 and thereafter, and the rest of the careers. Number one, we are future ready. Let me tell you, the school is future ready to get the kids into the new mode of getting on to their career modes. This is something which we can put a stamp on our belief. Number one. Number two is that there are a lot of options now which NEP is suggesting, which I think is not explored by the coaching, because they're still into the very old mode of, so this has worked, so this is going to work. But in between that and this, there's an ocean of difference that has happened. And whether we like it or not, but all the schools which are recognized, affiliated properly, like Rockwoods International School, are forced into getting into the proper mode. And this is a process which is going to take a couple of years. So by the time these kids who are in now getting on to 11 will be passing out their grade 12 in the next year, they will have to undergo and go through those changed modes, which schools like Rockwoods have all the expertise and knowledge. And that's why I call it as future ready. Then there's another reason. I'll tell you one very strong reason, and it's out of my personal experience. I've been in this profession for the last 41, 42 years right now. And we have taken batch out of that of the 11 and 12 kids. And my last tenure in Oberlin Ready Public School, there was plenty of batches that have gone out. There were some children whose parents were very forceful about the fact that, no, you don't have to go into the regular teaching, through schools, do your 11 and 12 in the coaching institutions, because they want to grind you and ultimately you're going to get your goal. And as you rightly said, how many of those lakhs and lakhs, after grinding, they actually get the seat or a rank is a question which we all know very well. Only few pictures come in the newspapers. Out of that, what happens to the children who are not getting into that? Their emotional well-being, their everything has to be taken into account, which regular coaching ones don't do. I personally call them as washing machines, because they put the kids inside the machine in the morning, they grind them, squeeze them out of all the emotions and the extra learning which they have to do to be holistic. And then in the evening, the child comes out around 8 o'clock or whatever, completely squeezed off everything except academics. But is that the norm of 21st century? No. For the 21st century norm, we don't need just academic knowledge. Even the testing is going to be such that they will ask for all other knowledges now. The National Testing Agency, as Subi sir was talking about, or Naidu sir was talking about, NTA is a backbone of the future testing centers, future testing methods to get into these career courses, NTA. And what is NTA? It is nothing but a shadow of Central Board of Secondary Education. It has all the alignment with Central Board of Secondary Education. And therefore, whoever is in those boards, trust me, are the ones who are very, very fit to get into those career modes with a futuristic mode in mind. And one last thing I'll share about is the very unfortunate instances, not one, not two, but I've had plenty of these instances where kids who went to grade 11 in the school, there were kids, many of them who would come to the normal school, the own school, but there were some who would always take a venture to go into some of the other, corporate schools, so to say. And not because the kids wanted it, trust me, it's because the parents wanted it more. Because they thought going there is an assurance, which they found it very, very ridiculously bad. Because once the kids went there, they would, trust me, after a month or so, there would be a mental breakdown. I've had so many kids with mental fatigues, mental breakdowns, emotional cracking up. And they would come back, crying back to the school, says, we cannot cope up. We just cannot take it anymore. Please take us back into our schools. And then the same parent would say, well, we thought that would be the best way for them to take it forward. But now we're coming back again, please take them. It was very difficult at that time to take kids because there would be no vacancies. This is personal examples I'm talking, not one, not twice, every year it happens. I blame it squarely to the parents because please take a proper, open your eyes, understand what exactly is in front of you, what is the reality and what is deception, and please put your child accordingly. You know your child very well. Just pressurizing the child with all that things is not going to take them anywhere. What we need is a holistic brand of things, and that's exactly that you need to have trust in your education system, on the people who are putting it up to you, and then I'm sure they're going to go forward. I thought I wanted to be brief, and I think, thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjali ma'am, for summing up the National Education Policy and Holistic Development's requirement for these children who are in the prime age of their teenage. We, as parents, as educators, all of us understand, and me being a parent of 2 kids, I personally understand, and I have also gone through all this, psychological trauma of being stressed out for children's careers. So now, dear parents, I hope all of you have understood what Rockwoods International School provides to you, what is it that we assure you, and how you can actually be secure about your child's future with Rockwoods International School. We assure you of stress-free education. We assure you of happy learning and happy growing for your child. Your children who are about 15 years right now, they will be with Rockwoods for 2 more years, 2 very important years, formative years of their personality, years wherein they will turn into young men and young women.
Young men and women of substance, highly successful in their career. Okay, so we thank you very much, parents and children who are a part of this. And Sai ma'am, the last word is yours.
Sure. And dear parents, if you have any further questions, you can always feel free to approach us. You do have the numbers of our management team members, our Subramanyam sir, and of course, the PRNs who were in touch with you. So you can always approach us directly, or if you have any questions right now for us, our panelists are willing to take it up immediately. I do understand that some of you have questions in the chat box. We will review the questions in the chat box and we will get back to you. I understand there's a question from Abhi, which is directly to the management, which they will answer. And if there's anything else right now, please do shoot it up at us.
Ma'am, I think we should give around a minute or 2 more for people who are in the discussion to please ask questions.
Ma'am, we may
ask the questions more than their parents ask the questions. We'd be very happy if the children ask, the direct stakeholders ask the questions.
Yes. Subhi sir, D. Vignesh asked a question. Can we unmute him, please?
I think he's not there.
Ma'am, I can see some questions like what is the admission procedure?
Yeah, so I think let me answer to that question. I think in case of the admission procedure and the fee structure, I request them to reach out to our school numbers. And admission procedure is very, very simple. You need to fill out the application form and all that. And fee structure is very, very reasonable fee structure that we have. And it's integrated, coaching, whatever stream that you are taking out and all that. And considering pandemic, we are also, giving little relief, all that. And, please approach, our school numbers, and you can search on website. Our school phone number is 916-00-19134. I repeat, 916-00-19134. So reach out to that number and we'll help you in having hassle-free admission process. And if there are any questions are not answered, and we'll be more than happy to look at and reach out to you, and definitely we'll be able to provide the answer.
Thank you so much, Subramanyam sir. I think we are a little overboard time, but I hope the session was fruitful for all the parents. It's been, I have got a lot of insight about Rockwood School myself, and I also understand that we have a complete nutshell understanding about the competitive examinations, the board exams, the national education policy, and everything. So I hope it's been a real nice experience for all the parents as well. And I'd just like to let you all know that the complete webinar would be available. It's been live on Facebook right now, and it would be available on our school's YouTube channel. It would be uploaded by tomorrow. So any of you, if you have any further doubts, you can review back and check out the experts' answers for it. And you can also promote it amongst your friends and other family members. So thank you so much, parents, for giving us this time. Thank you, Ramam Naidu sir, Subramanyam sir, Lalita ma'am, and Anjali ma'am for all the contribution you've made for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can I add just one last point is that everything has a time frame. And so kids, it's end of May already. So just maybe remind you all that within the time frame, please respond immediately, because everything is going to start and we don't want the classes to be missed. If you see today's Times of India newspaper, the intermediate of the state board has already declared that they're going to start. And, they don't want anything else. They just want a GPA of the marks. Go and see today's Times of India. So we are not that with the state board. We are here. We are going to start immediately. In fact, we already started some just before the vacations. So there is a time frame. Please don't miss that. God bless you. Take care. Be safe.
Some of you are asking the questions on when the academic year is going to start. We have started already on April last week. Again, we are starting on June 3rd onwards.
That's right.
So the syllabus were complete in April last week. Again, we'll revise from June 3rd onwards. So whoever is interested, you can approach PRMs and contact principal. They will help you out in the admission process so that you will not miss any classes. You can plan your...
So dear parents, as we've already mentioned to you, we accommodate only 36 students per batch, whether it is MPC or BIPC or commerce, there'll be only 36 students that will be accommodated in each batch. Therefore, and we are starting on 3rd of June. So all the interested parents and students may please contact the school at the telephone number that was mentioned to you earlier.
Students also trained for CA Foundation exam. There is a query in the chat box. I just wanted to answer that. MEC students are also trained for CA Foundation.
Along with CA Foundation, we provide specific coaching for mental ability and competitive examination oriented communicative English for you on Saturdays. Therefore, you will be more future ready along with the other students from the commerce stream.
May I add to that, the parents of K. Pranav, probably one little added them to your question. How about preparing MEC students for competitive exams? May I remind you that there is no term of MEC in the Central Board of secondary education. This is a state board term. In the central, in the CBSE, the term is either commerce stream or it is a science stream. So if you're meaning MEC means math, economics, and commerce, let me tell you, commerce has got a couple of subjects which are not commerce, but commerce is a heading, which is accountancy, business studies, stuff like entrepreneurship and so on. These are the subjects which are under commerce. So it depends on what your child wants to do. They're going to prepare for any kind of competitive exams as long as their basic subjects in commerce are fundamentally okay. I hope that answers your question to K. Pranav's parents. Please repeat the phone number. The phone number is also given there. Once again, it's repeated. And all we can say at the bottom line is you cannot stay indefinitely. Classes are going to start and they're going to restart actually. And we're going to change. We're going to use all the past information once again, but then it's not going to be repeated every now and then. So those very genuinely interested candidates, please come and enroll immediately. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Facility. Somebody asked, do we have residential facility?
Yes, we.
But during COVID times, I don't know whether they can stay. It's only once the COVID is over that you can definitely stay. There is residential facility.
It is as per the government norms. As soon as government opens up physically the schools, we should be able to start the residential facility. Maybe we'll be charging the fees based on the number of months they are going to stay in the campus.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, parents. Thank you so much, everyone.
In mind, yeah.